there's more than one way to skin a cat. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Itchy and Scratchy episodes. For this list, we're looking at the best Itchy and Scratchy cartoons from The Simpsons.
They love, they share and love and share, love, share. The Itchy and Scratchy Show.
Number 10, Reservoir Cats.
Special guest director, Quentin Tarantino.
Given the depraved violence found in Quentin Tarantino's movies, the director's filmography is perfect for an Itchy and Scratchy parody. The cartoon recreates an infamous torture scene from Reservoir Dogs, with Itchy tying up Scratchy to a chair and cutting off his ear. Then, an animated Quentin Tarantino interrupts the torture session to explain how his short is supposed to be a statement about violence in modern society.
What I'm trying to say in this cartoon is that violence is everywhere in our society, you know? It's like even in breakfast cereals, man.
In the end, Itchy and Scratchy pay homage to Pulp Fiction by dancing like John Travolta and Uma Thurman. Thankfully for this Tarantino parody, they did not bring out the GIMP. Number 9, Burning Down the Mouse.
Oh, I heard about this. This is the one where Scratchy finally gets Itchy.
Most Itchy and Scratchy cartoons involve Itchy killing Scratchy in some horrific way. However, in this episode, Scratchy gets a chance to turn the tables. As Lisa tells Bart, this is the episode where Scratchy finally kills Itchy, and the two are excited to see how it unfolds. Scratchy ties up Itchy and surrounds the mouse with explosives before taking a taxi to get away. Unfortunately, we never get to see the murderous rodent get his comeuppance, as the television Bart and Lisa are watching on is turned off before it gets to that part.
My purpose in life is to witness this moment.
Number 8, Steamboat Itchy.
If you want suspense.
To hype up the upcoming Itchy and Scratchy movie, the local Springfield station did a story covering the history of Itchy and Scratchy, which included this cartoon. In the production's fictional history, this is the first short to feature Itchy and Scratchy, and it looks like a Disney cartoon from the early black and white era. But things take a dark turn when Itchy opens fire on Scratchy with a machine gun and puts his head in a coal furnace. The Steamboat Willie spoof gives Itchy and Scratchy a sense of lore, as if they had the rich history of Mickey Mouse. Number 7, 4 Funerals and a Wedding. During Scratchy's wedding, Itchy switches out Scratchy's bride-to-be with a fake one that has sticks of dynamite and bombs attached to it, which Scratchy ends up getting married to. Scratchy somehow has kids with the fake wife that are half cat and half dynamite, and the two grow old before the dynamite blows up next to Scratchy and kills him. This is one occasion where we get to see Itchy die, when he keels over from a heart attack after gloating about Scratchy's death. Watching the sadistic mouse get his is a satisfying change of pace that we were all robbed of from Burning Down the Mouse. Number 6, Leader of the Pack.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock.
In this episode, which takes place in the 1950s, Scratchy is a cop and Itchy is a no-good hoodlum. Scratchy becomes injured when he tries to chase Itchy and is thrown from his motorcycle. Scratchy is put on a plane by paramedics, but since they're mice that look like Itchy, they obviously don't have Scratchy's best interest in mind. In a macabre twist, the plane is revealed to have on board Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper, which implied that Scratchy was put on board the same flight that killed those famous musicians. But the artists appear to be vampires, so this could be an alternate timeline where they're undead. Who knows? Number 5, the Itchy and Scratchy Movie. Throughout the episode, the Itchy and Scratchy Movie is built up as an epic must-see film that comes once in a generation.
It was the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life! And you wouldn't believe the celebrities who did cameos. Dustin Hoffman, Michael Jackson. Of course, they didn't use their real names, but you could tell it was them.
It's full of cameos from famous celebrities, and its promotions include a billboard that splatters blood on cars passing by. The movie is so significant, the plot of the episode is that Bart is forced to change his behavior because Homer wouldn't let him see the movie, which resulted in Bart hitting the books and becoming Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
We'll all be the Itchy and Scratchy Movie. Come on, what do you say?
All right. I think you've learned your lesson.
From what we can see of the movie, it doesn't look much different from a run-of-the-mill episode, but the buzz surrounding the film was what made it grand.
Which one's a mouse?
Number 4, Tears of a Clone. This episode starts out with Scratchy's funeral. It appears that Itchy may have killed the feline one too many times. Itchy begins to lament his friend, looking through an old photo album of all the fun times he had killing his companion, until he comes across a news story about cloning sheep. Through the magic of science, Itchy clones Scratchy from DNA that he had on hand from a blood-spattered cleaver and clones new Scratchies. This gives him the opportunity to find new ways to kill Scratchy, as the clones pop out of a conveyor belt. Remember kids, if you want to learn how to solve problems, go into a STEM field. Number 3, the unnatural.
You're out!
A commentary on the steroid scandal that dogged Major League Baseball, this episode begins with Scratchy as a ball player striking out. Posing as a doctor, Itchy gets Scratchy to take steroids, which makes him a power hitter and gives him a successful career. However, 6 years later, the steroids take their toll and cause Scratchy to grow monstrously large while he's testifying on Capitol Hill. Disgusted by Scratchy's behavior, the statue of Abraham Lincoln from the Lincoln Memorial steps out of his seat and pulls Scratchy's head off and knocks it out of the National Mall into the Hall of Shame. This cartoon is delightfully random from beginning to end. Number 2, Little Barbershop of Horrors.
Scratchy is getting a haircut. Then Itchy, the barber, chops Scratchy's head off with a razor.
This was an episode of Itchy and Scratchy that Bart and Lisa wrote. We never get to see the full cartoon, and instead get to see the creative process the kids go through in penning the script. They write about Scratchy getting a haircut from Itchy, but the mouse doesn't actually give the cat a proper trim. Bart vetoes Lisa's idea of Itchy slicing off Scratchy's entire head and instead suggests that Itchy pour barbecue sauce on Scratchy, which attracts flesh-eating ants that feast on Scratchy's head.
And the rest writes itself.
Itchy then raises Scratchy's chair so high that he ends up on the next floor, where Elvis is watching TV and shoots it in frustration. In writing this episode, Bart and Lisa show that the best Itchy and Scratchy episodes take an unpredictable turn at some point.
This show ain't no good.
I gotta say, that last one is one of my faves, as is the Looney Tunes cartoon it's based on. However, our number 1 is a clever satire on popular TV tropes, as well as a send-up of critics of The Simpsons themselves, which is pretty much a dead giveaway, but play along with me and let's look at the honorable mentions before we name our favorite Itchy and Scratchy episode.
Lemonade? Please, I made it just for you. You are my best friend.
I'm a cat walking down the street swinging my arms. Look, a lady made of dynamite. Wait, I don't know that yet. How about a smooch? Kablooey!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, the Beagle Has Landed. In an effort to keep the Itchy and Scratchy Show fresh, the producers decided to add a new character, Poochie.
It is so simple, you egghead writers would have never thought of it. What we need is a new character, one that today's kids can relate to.
Wearing a backwards ball cap and sunglasses, Poochie was full of attitude, but he may have been trying a little too hard to convince everyone how hip he was.
The name's Poochie D, and I rock the telly. I'm half Joe Camel and a third Fonzarelli. I'm the Kung Fu hippie from Gangster City. I'm a rapping surfer, you the fool I pity.
Oh, Poochie is one outrageous dude. He's totally in my face.
For his debut episode, Itchy and Scratchy are taking a ride to a fireworks factory when they pull over to meet up with Poochie.
Catch ya on the flip side, dude masters.
Not!
Hey, kids, always recycle. To the extreme! Busted!
Instead of inflicting violence on their new acquaintance, they decide to build up how cool Poochie is in an obviously forced way.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
Wow, Poochie came from another planet?
I guess.
Hey, that wasn't supposed to happen!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.